Well, frightening to imagine. A man pushed an elderly woman out of the way and then took her car. He then led police on a chase out of Peoria and all around North Phoenix. Tonight, we are learning more about that man who allegedly put a lot of people at risk that day. Steve Ryan, live in Peoria, where all this began. Steve?
Well, it began in this parking lot of the Fry store fields, but then it developed quickly onto Union Hills here as the pursuit picked up speed. But not long after that, a suspect was in the back of a police car, and that victim was back home safely. If you think a 21-year-old can push this 89-year-old to the ground, carjack her, and expect her to be intimidated afterwards, well, think again.
Well, he just acted like a normal person that wanted to help. You know, he had a good come on.
Right before he took off in Sybil Narber's car, leading Peoria police on a pursuit. She had been putting groceries away in a Fry's parking lot. Then she put up a fight.
Moved the cart, and he stepped over by the door, and that's when he
got a little hinky.
Yeah, grabbed my hands. Give me your keys. But he had to wrestle them out of me.
He being Marshall Dixon, according to investigators who tell 3TV he wound through heavy traffic, endangering officers and the public. Finally, he parked the car and jumped out, then ran into a nearby apartment complex where police arrested him. But what would drive someone to take such a reckless drive?
Did you carjack that woman?
Yeah.
Why'd you carjack her?
I was in bad position, man.
What happened in life that you had to do that?
Things aren't going right. I lost my job, lost everything.
I got up and it's kind of stiff, and you know, but I've been exercising and it's hurting down in here a little bit. Not while I'm sitting or anything.
Exercising is probably why he couldn't get the keys from you right away.
I don't know, maybe so. I think he needs a heck of a lot of help, that's for sure.
His reasoning? According to court paperwork obtained by 3TV, Dixon told police he had to go buy heroin because he hadn't had any for a day. Well, it's not a day Dixon has to worry about now, though. If convicted of robbery and aggravated assault, he could spend years in state prison. Police say he also had stolen checks with him from his prior employer and that he has a prior history of theft. Reporting live from Peoria, I'm Steve Ryan, 3TV.
A woman was loading her groceries when police say a man knocked her out of the way, stole her car. He then allegedly led police on a chase around the valley. In an exclusive interview with 3TV, the woman talks about the frightening moments of this carjacking. Steve Ryan is live in Peoria with her story. She is a pretty remarkable woman, Steve.
Very remarkable, Carrie, and very strong. Her story started here in this Fry's parking lot, then developed quickly out onto Union Hills as that chase picked up speed and wound and wove around town. But after a few moments, that suspect was in the back of a police car, and that woman was back home safely. You can push this 89-year-old down to the ground, even carjack her afterwards, but you darn sure can't keep her down. After what happened yesterday, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine. I don't think I was hurt.
But what happened to Sybil Narber and the events surrounding it are almost unthinkable. Peoria police say that after carjacking her in a grocery store parking lot, Marshall Dixon led officers on a chase, endangering them and the public.
He said, "Your trunk is open." So, you know, naturally I'd step away and look, and it wasn't. And by that time he says, "Give me your keys." But I held him for a while, but I wasn't big enough to keep them from him.
Then Dixon allegedly hit another car as he took off, dodging and weaving while police gave chase. Officers say he eventually parked the car and jumped out and ran into an apartment complex where they arrested him. But what would drive someone to take such a reckless drive?
Did you carjack that woman?
Yeah.
Why'd you carjack her?
I was in bad position, man.
What happened in life that you had to do that?
Things aren't going right. I lost my job, lost everything.
I think I'm a very lucky person to have come through it.
Or maybe just a very sharp, astute woman who held her own.
Well, I tried. That's all I could do. So many people are on drugs and stuff that it's just a shame. You know, they just lose their life. That's all there is to it.
According to court paperwork obtained by 3TV, Dixon told police he needed to get some heroin because he hadn't had any for a day. It's not a day Dixon has to worry about now, though. If convicted of robbery and aggravated assault for what happened here, he could spend years in state prison. Police say he also had stolen checks on him that he had taken from his prior employer and that he has a prior record for theft. Reporting live from Peoria, I'm Steve Ryan, 3TV.